Our business editor, Richard Southern, joins us from his home office. And Richard, the Bank of Canada has cut interest rates again in response to the coronavirus pandemic.
Yeah, another surprise cut, the third slash we've seen to interest rates in the past 3 weeks or so from the Bank of Canada, Melissa. It took out and it cut the benchmark rate another half a point to just 1/4%. Interest rates now just 1/4% here in Canada. Now, of course, to help out the whole, economic impact of the coronavirus. Stephen Polis is the governor of the Bank of Canada, and he said, this is an unprecedented situation with the bank cutting rates 3 times here in the last few days. But he says he'd rather do more than be accused later of not doing enough. Take a listen.
The period of the crisis is being written in real time, and some may suggest that this is using a lot of firepower, but I think that a firefighter has never been criticized for using too much water.
Good analogy there, Melissa. The effect, what are we going to notice here with the cut? It's going to make variable rate mortgages even cheaper. So the housing market could continue to go bananas once we're out of self-isolation here in Toronto.
Good to know. And we saw the markets gain some momentum over the past few days, but it came to a sudden end today, it appears.
Yeah, it did. The 3-day win streak did come to an end today. However, when you look at the week on a whole, things are looking much better. It was a winning week, but the TSX today did fall 683 points. They rang the closing bell there on Wall Street, and the Dow was down 900 points today. However, for the week, the Dow booked a gain of 12.8%. Its best week since 1938. Investors today liking the fact that the governments are engaging in all these economic stimulus measures. Today, though, they focused on the fact that the U.S. has the most confirmed of cases of the virus, and that kind of soured the sentiment a little bit. However, good week, and your portfolio going to be looking a little bit better here with markets recouping, nearly a third of their losses this week, Melissa.
And companies across the country are scrambling to make changes in this new reality.
Sure are. We heard from Netflix today. What it's going to do, it's going to lower a little bit the picture quality for subscribers here in Canada. It's doing that to ease all the demand on the internet that we've been seeing. The bandwidth has really been sucked by everyone working at home and watching Netflix. Netflix says, though, you shouldn't notice a big difference as far as quality is concerned. We heard from WestJet today. It is laying off 1,500 of its flight staff. The union representing them, Unifor, says 1,063 flight attendants will be laid off. The airline also laying off all its 470 pilots, including one who was tested positive for COVID-19. He got laid off, and he says he believed he contracted the virus on the job. Boston Pizza, meantime, temporarily laying off approximately half its 192 corporate staff. The company closing all its dining rooms, and says the individual franchisees have had to engage in some layoffs as well. And finally, Cirque du Soleil is considering its options, it says, after closing all its shows and laying off most of its staff. The problem with Cirque du Soleil is all the red ink on the books. They have about $900 million in debt, and Moody's, the credit rating agency, earlier in the week said there was a high risk of default for the company by the end of the year, Melissa.
Okay, and the weekend is here. What's happening with gas prices?
Thanks for informing me. When you work at home, the days kind of run together. But yeah, it is Friday, and the price of gas going to go up just a cent at midnight tonight. Dollar to just 72.9, still here at very low levels. Melissa, you and I are back just a little bit after 6:30. We're all working from home. Many of us are. You're doing great work out there in the field. But we're looking at how 680 News and City News reporters are working from home. We're taking a look at everyone's home office just after 6:30.
That's right. A little behind the scenes. Thank you so much, Richard.
Thanks.